Hello, Tim Jones here, and welcome to another episode of View from the Bleachers. This week's topic, drag racing. Now, to be honest, I was not sure what to expect when a buddy of mine invited me to join him to attend a drag racing event. No, contrary to my assumptions, there were very few men sprinting in high heels, makeup, and wigs. No, it turns out that the drag racing event he had in mind was a completely different genre of entertainment. One with fast cars and hot babes. Only in this case, the hot babes were, well, actually babes. If you're not familiar with this other drag racing competition, I'll cover everything you need to know to become a fan on the other side. Welcome back. Sorry for the noise. Those dragsters sure are loud. Hey, mind turning off your engines until I finish this shoot? Thanks, appreciate it. Sorry about that. Hey, did you know that the average drag race takes less time to finish than it takes to finish the sentence? The average drag race takes less time to finish than it takes to finish this sentence? It's true. This is what a typical drag race track looks like. The fastest dragsters hurtle down a 1,000-foot track in under 4 seconds. When I told my wife this, her response was, well, that's barely enough time to make it to the first turn. During one heat, I sneezed, causing me to completely miss the race. My wife does not understand drag racing at all, either kind, in much the same way that I usually don't understand my wife. You see, this sport is all about three things: insanely fast cars, thunderously loud engines that could burst your eardrums, and sexy young women in short pants or skirts and knee-high kicky boots hanging around the starting line, pretending to serve a purpose. Now, when my buddy and I sat down for the first heat, I almost had a heart attack at the explosion of noise. Imagine the heavy metal rock band Spinal Tap with their speakers cranked to 11. Now multiply that number by 11 gazillion and you have a rough approximation of how loud these engines are. This is a helpful chart of some of the extremely loud sounds, which are all less ear-splittingly loud than what I experienced over the course of 3 hours at the drag race track. The track has 2 lanes, no turns. The 2 racers are pitted against each other in a thrilling, insanely loud sprint. Sadly, I did not witness a single car veer off the track into the wall. The closest any car came to disaster was when one dragster's engines caught fire, causing him to lose the race. Don't worry, nobody was hurt. My buddy informed me that replacing the engine would cost upwards of $250,000, roughly the value of a typical house in America. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Now, several classes of vehicles were competing. Top fuel eliminators, or what we commonly think of as dragsters, the long, skinny ones with the tiny wheels in front. And then there's funny cars. Imagine like a Chevy Camaro, plastered bonnet to boot with sponsors' logos. There's also another variation called Pro Stock, and they even have motorcycles. Yeah, that looks safe. My buddy told me that these motorcycle dragsters can reach 230 miles an hour in less than 6 seconds, with their front tires rarely touching the track until the very end of the course. Apparently, to enter this event, you must have a doctor's certificate stating that you are completely insane. Now, racers are judged in 4 categories: RT, reaction time, how quickly they get off the starting line; ET, elapsed time, how long it takes them to reach the finish line; TS, top speed achieved by the time they reach the finish line. And one more category, HB. That stands for hot babes, the number of super hot prepubescent chicks hanging around a driver's car before the race. Now, I don't want to sound critical, but I found that some of these cars, upon closer inspection, really cut a few corners. For example, check out this machine. This car is a top fuel dragster. It has a 10,000 horsepower engine and can cover 1,000 feet in under 4 seconds. But when I looked at it closely, I discovered it had no CD player, let alone a USB port to play the tunes from my iPhone. An egregious design flaw, if you ask me. Now, I have to say, whoever came up with these designs never owned a minivan. First, none of them has any trunk space. And don't let the funny cars fool you. They may look like they have a trunk, but check it out. It's all fake. There's no trunk. The cabs are incredibly cramped. There's no way I would take my family camping in one of these. They don't even come with a GPS, let alone a decent sound system. These dragster engineers, well, they really cut corners in their design. I'm just saying. Now, every driver has a pit crew of about 10 helpers and a blonde babe in short pants, tall boots, and a tiara. Immediately before and after the burnout, I'm sure you know what that is, they swarm around the vehicle looking under the hood, inflating the tires, and checking her nails. 2 guys are assigned to ensure none of the sponsors' decals are falling off. They get the big bucks. Surprisingly, none of them offered to wash the windshield. You know, it seems to me like you just can't get good pit crew help these days. Nope. Now, if you plan to go to a drag racing event, a couple of suggestions. First, bring earplugs, or better yet, noise-canceling headphones like these race car fans are wearing. You just can't imagine how deafeningly loud it gets at these events. Now, second, don't expect to be able to, engage in a heart-to-heart talk during this outing. Suggestions for possible conversation topics include, "What did you say?" And, could you repeat that? And, "Sorry, you'll have to scream louder. I can't hear you." You know, actually, on a related note, drag race competitions are an excellent venue at which to break up with your girlfriend. There's every chance that when you tell her it's over and you've found someone new, she won't be mad at you. In part because she probably never heard what you said. Finally, before you head to the track, I suggest accessorizing so that you can blend in with the other fans. Start with a muscle shirt promoting a beer or a popular motor oil. A baseball cap is a must, but no worries if you leave your Make America Great cap at home. They'll no doubt have plenty of those for sale at the track. And if you really want to fit in, consider a tattoo that runs the length of your arm or back, featuring a snake or a vampire bat, or perhaps something really tasteful and understated. Like this guy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Your wife must be so proud, buddy. As my buddy and I were heading home after a fun day of watching blisteringly fast death traps, I imagined what it might be like to be behind the wheel of one of those top-fuel dragsters with a 10,000-plus horsepower engine reaching speeds upwards of 320 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds. I suddenly floored the gas on my Hyundai Santa Fe, and within 20 seconds, I was hurtling down the interstate at 82 miles an hour. I felt a rush of adrenaline, and that's when I saw the cop car, and I slammed on the brakes. Whew, that was a close call. So much for my racing dreams. But at least my car has a GPS and a kick-ass sound system. I'll bet none of their cars have that. Just saying. Well, that's the view from the bleachers. I'm Tim Jones. Now, you drive safely, okay?